it's your boy D Suave, and today we're going to do something a bit different. Yeah, today's video, I normally do FIFA content, but today I'm going to be counting down the Premier League's top players as well as who is world class and who is not. There's a huge debate going on at the moment to determine who's world class in the Premier League and who's not, and this is just my opinion. So it's not really it's not just a, what should I say, it's not a confirmed list, it's just my opinion. Yeah, so let's get into it. We're gonna count down from our keepers right to our strikers, so that means all the top players in the Premier League. We're gonna have a few honorable mentions as well. So starting off this list, we're going to start off with our goalkeepers. In my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League at the moment has to be, without a doubt, David De Gea of Manchester United. He's been saving them numerous times. He's been their best player for the past season. I think he's won the player of the season as well for United, and he's just been saving them. This countless goals. There's a save he made against, it was Chelsea. I think it was Eden Hazard shot, if I'm not mistaken, and he just saved that from going into the top corner. So David De Gea, best keeper in the Premier League. The saves he's made, and he's not even playing in front of a very good defense. He's playing in front of Chris Smalling, Nick Bailey, not even Chris Smalling. Sometimes it's Daily Blind. Other times it's Marcus Rojo. It's a makeshift defense, so for him to save them, he's probably saved them from going between the top half as well as the bottom half of the table. If it wasn't for David De Gea, I think Manchester United would probably be in the 10th, around 10th, going on to the second half of the table. He saved them, so he's the number one goalkeeper in the Premier League. Now the second goalkeeper that I'm going to choose comes from Tottenham Hotspurs. He goes by the name of Hugo Lloris. One of a let's just go back to David De Gea. When David De Gea first came into the Premier League, he was never good at claiming crosses. Whenever crosses came in, he was a bit skeptical. You never know whether he was going to get the ball, whether he wasn't going to get the ball, whether it's going to lead to a goal, whether it wasn't going to lead to a goal. At the moment now, if you look at him, he owns his penalty area. As soon as a cross comes in, he's claiming that ball. And yet he needs time. Every player comes into the Premier League, they need time to adapt to the way the Premier League operates. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes a season or two for them to operate. Now the second goalkeeper, it comes from Hugo Lloris. He's a French international, and he's one of the top keepers in the Premier League. In terms of world class, if you talk about world class, you're talking about the best keeper in the world at the moment is Manuel Neuer. That's without a doubt. Second, you could put in the bracket, you could put David De Gea there, you could put Hugo Lloris there. So these players are at this world class level, and they are going to get better with age. David De Gea is very young at the moment, and he's still got a lot of time on his side. So Hugo Lloris plays for Tottenham Hotspurs. They nearly won the Premier League last season. Leicester was on another level, and Hugo Lloris is a very good keeper. He's made some tremendous saves keeping him in the Premier League. And the thing about Hugo Lloris, he gets off his line very quick. Most keepers, they like to stay on the line and they just say either left or right. Hugo Lloris gets off his line and makes himself a big target, which gives the striker a smaller space to hit, which is always a difficult thing to do. And the final keeper of the Premier League, which I think is world class, I'm gonna say is Petr Cech. Chelsea in my opinion, Chelsea should have never sold him. He was unstoppable at one stage when Chelsea was winning 8-0, 9-0 about in 2012-2013 season. The main reason for that was because of Petr, because he made some good saves during those seasons, and he continued to. He had the consistency. See, the Premier League, they have these keepers and they are consistent. David De Gea has been consistent, Hugo Lloris has been consistent, and Petr has been consistent. In my opinion, he's better than Thibaut Courtois at the moment. Thibaut Courtois needs time. He needs time to adapt to the Premier League, but Petr is the third goalkeeper of this list. Yeah. Now the reason Petr is there is because he's made some very good saves. He eventually saved. Instead of Arsenal gaining 1 point, he's made them gain 3 points, which is massive in terms of the Premier League, because 1 point is one thing. To get 3 points is a massive boost. It can cost you the title, it can either cost you a league, a Champions League position, a Europa League position, or even relegation for sake. Yeah. Is a few players that are very good, but in my opinion, I don't think there's any world-class fullbacks in the Premier League at the moment. Now, the guys that I think could eventually become world-class, which is number 1, Hector Bellerin of Arsenal, Spanish international. He's a very pacey player. He has the pace, he has the skill, he has the ability to be world-class, but at the moment, he's not at that level. Now, the reason for this could be the inexperience he has. It could be that he isn't getting. He's playing every game, so he has enough game time. He needs to improve his game a lot, especially defense. In attack, he is brilliant. He's one of the best attacking fullbacks in the Premier League. Now, he needs to focus on his defensive skills. He needs to get back and defend, as well as the same way he attacks, he needs to get back and defend. Now, the other fullbacks include Kyle Walker of Tottenham Hotspurs, an England international. He's good, he's very pacey as well, just as Bellerin, but they lack the defensive qualities of an amazing fullback. If you look at legends, look at Zanetti, Philip Lahm, you look at those fullbacks, look at David Alaba currently, those are on a different level. They can attack as well as they can defend. They have the pace to get forward, they have the pace to get back, they have the interceptions. You see, they need Bellerin as well as Kyle Walker, they need to develop this. As the game goes forward, as they progress in the career, they need to develop this. Now, the main thing is defensive qualities. They don't have that. They have the attacking, they're down for that. So England has a few fullbacks who are very good at the moment. Nathaniel Klein, pacey as well. Defensively, has a few errors, has a few faults, but those can be worked on. So in my opinion, fullbacks, not too many. None of them are world class at this very moment. We look at centre backs in the Premier League. There are a few that possibly can be world class. Okay, let's look at the world class ones first. We have Laurent Koscielny, a French international. He's made a number of caps for France, as well as scored some crucial goals, especially in the Euros. And he's a goal threat, especially. So you look at, as well as fullbacks. If you look at fullbacks, you need to score some goals as well as defend and stop goals. Now, Laurent Koscielny does that. What he does, the thing I like about Laurent Koscielny is that when a cross comes through, what he does, he intercepts it before the ball actually reaches the opponent. So he'll get in front of the opponent, which will stop the cross, and he can eventually clear the ball. Laurent Koscielny has made some amazing slide tackles. The slide tackles is very hard to do. If you have to time it to perfection, I think he's mastered that art of slide tackles. He's very good. He doesn't have that much pace, but his interception skills are world class. And that is why I would put Laurent Koscielny as a world class player. Still has the ability, still young, still has loads of potential, and could be a legend at Arsenal. He probably is a legend. He's been there for a long time. He's had that time to adapt to the Premier League. He's got that experience, and now he can become that world-class player. The other centre back that I think is a world-class player, Toby Alderweireld. He's a Belgium international. He plays for Tottenham Hotspurs. He's got pace. He's got more pace than Laurent Koscielny, but he is another level. He can defend the ball. He can hit the ball. He can cross the ball. He can do everything. He can pretty much play as a midfield player as well. So he fits in that bracket of world class. If you talk about world class defenders, you're talking about Gerard Piqué. You talk about Sergio Ramos. You talk about who else is world class centre back? You look at Varane. All those guys, Jerome Boateng, you look at all those guys, and those guys are world class. Toby Alderweireld maybe fits in a bracket below that, so I would say that he's got the potential of being world class, but at this very moment, he's not there. We look at our midfielders. There's a lot of midfielders in the Premier League, some good, some average, but some just world class. When you look at midfielders, we're going to talk about our centre defensive midfielders first. The centre defensive midfielders are the focal point. This is where play is being broken down and attacks are being started. So these play a crucial role in every Premier League team. The one I think which already reached world-class standing is N'Golo Kante, formerly Leicester City, now plays his trade in Chelsea. He's just recently arrived this past season, but he's proven that he's world class. You look at Leicester City last season, they were playing exceptional. N'Golo Kante, break down play, move that ball forward, get the attack started. As he's doing the same for Chelsea at the moment, he breaks up that play. He can get from defense to attack in the blink of an eye. That's how I see the way he does it. He's not the tallest, he's not the most skillful, but he's good at intercepting play. He can intercept the ball before it reaches the opponent. He anticipates where the ball is going to go. That's the main thing of a centre defensive midfielder, is to anticipate where that ball is going, how that ball is traveling, which opponent is going to go, so you can intercept, cut the play out, and get your attackers on the ball. Now N'Golo Kante has reached that world class standing. There were many teams that were after him. Real Madrid were after him, PSG were after him, Arsenal were after him, Tottenham were after him, Man United were after him, but he chose Chelsea FC. And I think he suits Chelsea. His play suits Chelsea, break up play, move the forward attack. Another player I would put in that world class standing is another Chelsea player, which is Nemanja Matic. The reason I would put him there is because when Chelsea won the league 2 years ago, he was a key player in that. He broke up plays as well as N'Golo Kante. He broke up the play, moved the ball forward, as well as scored some crucial goals. And not just from in the box, he scored goals from actually outside of the box, which is not an easy thing to do as a holding midfield player. But he's done that. He's been able to break up play, he's been able to move the ball forward. You see centre defensive midfielders, it's one thing to just pass the ball, it's one thing to make a through ball pass. And Nemanja Matic has been able to do this for Chelsea, as well as N'Golo Kante. He did that for Leicester City and he's still doing that for Chelsea. Nemanja Matic has taken the backseat now because they've got N'Golo Kante, but he's still at that world class standing. The other CDMs I think who world class, we look at Francis Coquelin, currently plays his trade at Arsenal. I don't know if you've noted this, but when Francis Coquelin plays, Arsenal plays well and they're able to get the ball much faster into the attack. He's the no-nonsense defender, no-nonsense holding midfielder. Like in the olden days when you had these guys like Patrick Vieira, you're looking at those guys. You're looking at these guys where they just go, get the tackle in. It's not pretty, but it's effective. And I think Francis Coquelin fits in that bracket. The other guys I think is Victor Wanyama, Southampton. He's another very good player. Eventually going to get world class. His interceptions are very good. The reason Tottenham Hotspurs purchased him from Southampton is because of how good he is on the ball. He's not only a defender, but he can also attack. He breaks up play, moves the ball forward, and gets his team rolling. The other honorable mentions for this will be Emre Can. He scores goals, he defends as well as he attacks. The other one I think has already reached world class level is Yaya Toure. If you look at 2 or 3 seasons ago, Yaya Toure was the man to beat. There was no defensive midfielder better than him. He could turn defense, he just run through the ball and he's in on goal and he scores. The Yaya Toure hasn't been the same for the last 2 seasons. But he's got that level in him. He's got that ability where he just can run through a defense, score goals, stop chances from happening, and create chances as well. So that is why I think Yaya Toure is world class. The other one I think who is actually an attacking midfielder but he can play the defensive role, which is Ross Barkley of Everton, another England international. So England has a lot of prospects who can eventually become tremendous players for the future. Ross Barkley, no nonsense, gets the ball, pushes it forward, gets his team rolling. Now we're looking at attacking midfielders. There's a lot of attacking midfielders in the Premier League. The main ones I think, which is number 1, Kevin De Bruyne. A Belgium international, plays his trade at Manchester City, is exceptional. The way he collects the ball and runs into open space. You see, Kevin De Bruyne looks for open space. He'll notice where the ball is, find an open space, occupy that pocket, get the ball, supply it to Sergio Aguero, and that is how he creates chances. He not only just passes the ball on the floor, crossing, his crosses are exceptional. Chelsea made a mistake selling him. You see, he left Chelsea, he went to Wolfsburg, and he showed Chelsea exactly why they should have never sold him. Because he performed at Wolfsburg, he was exceptional at Wolfsburg, came to Manchester City for big money. Everybody thought he was going to fade, but he became an instant success, and that is why I would put Kevin De Bruyne as a world-class player. He not only creates chances, he not only takes his chances, but he scores goals. And he's consistent every single week. Every single week he creates chances. Every single week he either creates goals or he scores goals. And his free kicks are good as well. So he's a world-class player. Another player who I think is actually underrated is David Silva. Also plays his trade at Manchester City, currently a Spanish international. He's a bit older than De Bruyne, but he has that experience. He came from Valencia and he's made a massive impact in the Premier League. As soon as he arrived in Manchester City, there was a change in the style of play that Manchester City played. They played more fluently, more attacking. Silva is like I wouldn't say a Messi, but he's got that ability that Messi has, that close control with the ball. When he passes the ball, gets the ball back in his feet, he can run with the ball, he can stop, he can move forward. He's that type of player. Creates chances. He needs to score more goals, but he is that world-class player. The other Manchester City. So Manchester City have the attacking midfielders down. We look at Iko Gundogan. Came for big money, proved himself at Borussia Dortmund, came for big money to Manchester City, and he's been exceptional. The other mentions I want to talk about will be Oscar. He's a very underrated player. When he first came, he was an instant success, but then slowly, gradually, this season he hasn't been used that much. Antonio Conte has not used him that much. He mostly came on as a super sub, but he has that very good attacking ability, that close control of the ball, that pass, that eye for goal. He has that through ball, that vision to create the chance. He can score tremendous goals, free kicks, corners, in front of goal, outside the box. We've seen him do it before. In the season when Chelsea won the league, that was 2 seasons ago, he created chances, he scored goals, he took his chances, he made things happen for Chelsea. The other holding midfielder, not holding midfielder, you say attacking midfielder, hasn't lived up to expectations. It came for 100 million from Manchester United, is the one, the only Paul Pogba. Now Paul Pogba has been exceptional for Juventus. He's proven his consistency for Juventus. He's scored goals, he's created chances, he's taken chances. He's been doing everything that an attacking midfielder needs to do to become a world-class player. Not only skills, he's good on the ball, his heading is good, his attacking prowess is good, and he's a good player. But the thing is, for this season, he hasn't lived up to his expectations. The reason for this, I think, is, like I said at the start of the video, every player needs to adapt when they come into the Premier League. It's not as, if you look at the Serie A where he played at Juventus, the Serie A, no disrespect to Serie A, it's a much slower paced game compared to the Premier League. If you were to take a Premier League side, put them in the Serie A, they would actually dominate the Serie A team. The reason for this is because they have that pace, that raw ability, that it's just physical. It's much more physical. There's more pace. The pace is massively, it's different, completely different. Now Paul Pogba has been playing consistently with Juventus, creating chances, scoring goals, but at that slow pace. At Manchester United, at the Premier League, you cannot do it at slow pace. Everything is fast paced. You get the ball, you get forward, you score your goal. You create your chances, you hold the ball, you create chances. Now Paul Pogba hasn't been able to do this because he needs time to adapt. All players, when they arrive from a new team, they need to adapt to the new surroundings, the new style of play. Every team has a different style of play. Now, do we think Paul Pogba is world class? Yes, there's no doubt about that. He's done it for France, he's done it for Juventus. The question is, will he do it for Manchester United? I think definitely he will, but he needs that time to adapt to the Premier League, get his team into the right position. Mourinho paid 100 million, we understand that, but he knew what he was getting. It may not happen this season, it may not even happen next season, but Paul Pogba will eventually give Manchester United exactly what they need, I think. Now that's it for our attacking midfielders. We have our wingers. There's a lot of wingers in the Premier League. You look at the likes of Eden Hazard, Dimitri Payet, Willian, you name it, there's a lot. But on the world class candidates, look at the first one I'm going to look at is Willian. I think he's underrated. He's a very underrated player. Most people, when they think Willian, they just think Chelsea. He creates chances, he scores goals, but they do not put him as a world-class player. I would classify him as a world-class player. The reason for this being is he's got this certain passion for the game, and the way he dribbles with the ball. There's many people, when he dribbles with the ball, compare him to Ronaldinho, the great Ronaldinho, who played for Barcelona and AC Milan. He has that ability. There's no question. He has that ability. He has that attacking prowess. He creates chances. Last season, when Chelsea were performing dismally, he was the one player that tried his utmost best to get this team into the better position. He scored goals, created chances in those games last season, and he's actually put Chelsea where they were in the table last season. Costa wasn't performing last season, but Willian was the one. Willian was your go-to guy. If you needed a goal, you go to Willian. He's the one that will get you that goal. The other one also comes from Chelsea, which is Eden Hazard, of course. Another player who's, people say he's world class, people say he's not world class. He has the ability, he has the skill. I think in my opinion, Eden Hazard is not a winger. I believe he's an attacking midfielder through the middle where he cuts through defense. If you notice Conte, where he's played him in that freedom role this season, where he's just put him there, you go, you attack, you create your chance, you score your goal. And that's what he's done. Under the previous management, Jose Mourinho played him on the wing. I do not think that's his preferred position. He plays through the middle with his raw pace, cuts through teams. The thing about him is a lot of people compare Eden Hazard to Ronaldo. I think he could be the next Cristiano Ronaldo. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take experience, it's gonna take some seasons, but he will get there. He has that ability to be the next Cristiano Ronaldo. The pace he has and he can run with the ball is unbelievable. No team, I watched this one game where he dribbled about 5 or 6 players, got into the box and eventually scored the goal. He can score top corner, bottom corner, you name it, he scores the goals. He creates the chances, he scores the goals. So Eden Hazard is one to look out for in a couple of seasons to win the Ballon d'Or. That's my opinion. Now the other wingers who I think is world class is, we look at Henrik Mkhitaryan. United, he's proved himself at Borussia Dortmund, another Borussia Dortmund player. You look at Henrik Mkhitaryan, Iko Gundogan, both Borussia Dortmund players proved at the highest level in the German Bundesliga, and they've come to the Premier League. And Henrik Mkhitaryan hasn't played much game time, but we have no doubt that he is world class. He has the ability to find a pass, he has the ability to score a goal, he's got the ability. So you look at world class, you're looking at the best of the very best. You look at Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez. These guys are probably 2 notches below them. Potential to be world class, could be world class in next season, could be world class end of this season, we don't know. But they have that potential of being world class. The other wingers, I think, could be world class. We look at Dimitri Payet. When he signed for West Ham United, many people do not know him until he started playing. When he started playing, the world took notice who Dimitri Payet was. He became a sensation for West Ham. He became West Ham United. He's still West Ham United's best player. He proved himself in the Euro. The other attacking midfielder, I would say, hasn't proved himself this season, but has done it consistently for about 6 or 7 seasons now, which is Manchester United's very own legend, Wayne Rooney. A lot of people, he came under massive criticism this season where he hasn't been performing, but he's a world-class player. He's scored some unbelievable volleys, unbelievable goals that you think is impossible, but he's managed to do it. He's scored goals in big games, massive games. You see, world-class players don't only score goals against the weak opposition. They score goals against the very best opposition, and Wayne Rooney has done that. Not only 1 season, not only 2 seasons, but 6 or 7 seasons every season. And that is why I would put Wayne Rooney as a world-class player. Now we look at forwards. There's a lot of debate about the forwards. What do you need to become a world-class player to be a forward? You need to hold up play. You need to bring others into play. You need to create chances. You need to score chances. You need to take chances. You need to be the focal point of the attack. Now in the Premier League, there's a lot of strikers who scores goals, gets goals, and creates chances. But how many of them are on the level of Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi? None of them actually are. But they are a bracket below, potential of being world-class players eventually when Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez and Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar as well retire. But for the moment, they have potential. Now these are the mentions. We look at Sergio Aguero, an Argentinian international, friend of Lionel Messi, tremendous potential. The other player I think is world class. He has a lot to work on, especially his aggressiveness and his discipline in the game, which is Diego Costa of Chelsea, currently a Spanish international, had a chance to play for Brazil, but he chose Spain over Brazil. Now, he's a very good player. He has the ability, technical, he has it. Physically, he has it. Discipline, not so much. He's getting a lot of yellow cards, a lot of red cards, which is never good for a world-class player. That puts criticism on you, like when Luis Suarez was at Liverpool, when he was biting players left, right and centre. Reason being, he couldn't become that world-class player. He had to go to Barcelona and become that world-class player because of the publicity that was being shoved at him. It was bad publicity. He needed a change to become world-class. Now Diego Costa is a world-class player. He's at a world-class team at Chelsea. He has the ability, he has the potential. He's going to become a world-class player. Some of the goals he scored, he just touches the ball, curls the ball into the back of the net. That is something that is very, very difficult to do. If you play soccer, if you play football, it's a very difficult thing to do. Just curl the ball in the back of the net while you have defenders in front of you. You gotta have the composure, you gotta have the ability, you gotta have the confidence in yourself to take on that shot. And Diego Costa has all that. The only thing I think he needs to work on is his discipline. Other than that, he's a world-class player. The other striker I would put in this bracket would be the one, the only, the man himself, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's been at many clubs. Started at Ajax, moved to AC Milan, went to Barcelona, scored goals there, scored goals in Serie A, played in Eredivisie with Ajax. He's become that focal point, played with PSG, scored a lot of goals. PSG would never be as successful as they are currently without Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's that guy that created that legacy that PSG currently have, because he is the one that's been getting a lot of goals. Although PSG have a lot of good players, but Zlatan was that world-class player that stood out above Cavani. Now that Zlatan has moved on to Man United, you've seen Cavani emerge as a very good striker. These are world-class players that doesn't only perform in the league, but they perform in European Championships, friendlies, internationals, UEFA Champions League. They perform at every part of the game, whether it be the highest level, whether it be the lowest level, they're giving it their all. Now these are the people who I think are world-class players. There may be a few I missed out, but this is, in my opinion, the players in the Premier League that I think are world-class. Now we come to our honorable mentions. There is a lot of honorable mentions that we have. They have the potential of being world-class, but at this very moment they're not there. So we're looking at number 1, Cesar Azpilicueta, a very good player. Plays his trade in Chelsea, Spanish international, loads of potential. We look at Seamus Coleman, an Irish international, plays his trade at Everton FC. He's been consistent, but he needs to step up his game to that next level to become that world-class player. Potential is there, he just needs to find it and make it work. The other one is Riyad Mahrez, an Algerian international, so he's from Africa, which is massive for Africa, but he's got that potential. You've seen what he did last season. For teams, he's made teams, defenses with afraid of facing, because you don't know whether he's going to cut in, whether he's going to go on the wing. He was just unplayable last season. The potential is there. He needs to step up his game for himself so he can become that world-class player. We're looking at Danny Simpson, also of Leicester City, plays his trade at Leicester City. He's an England international if I'm not mistaken. We look at John Stones, currently plays for Manchester City, recently arrived from Everton for 50 million, which I think is a lot of money to pay for a young defender. The potential is there. Everybody says he has that potential, but living up to that potential is a different thing. That is why I didn't classify him as a world-class player with my centre backs. The other one is Sadio Mane. When he signed for Liverpool from Southampton, few were doubting his ability, but we've seen him score some spectacular goals for Liverpool. He's making things work at Liverpool. He's the right man for Liverpool. We look at Daniel Sturridge, another player who's got tremendous ability, tremendous technical ability, but he's injury prone. If he can get over his injuries, he would be a world-class striker. Look at Raheem Sterling, consistency, he needs to improve on that. Get consistent every season, every game, give it his 100%, and he will be definitely that world-class player. You're looking at Ander Herrera. I really like this guy. This guy is playing his trade at Manchester United, a Spanish international. Loads of potential. He scored some good goals. He was in Athletic Bilbao, and it didn't cost him that much, but he's got that potential. I believe. I've played with him in FIFA. He's a very good player. I believe he can reach that heights of a Toni Kroos, of a James Rodriguez. He can reach those heights. He just got to work on it, get his experience, and progress his game. We look at Marcus Rashford. He's a young player. There's a lot of expectation on Marcus Rashford. Should he be world class? Should he not be world class? He's proven himself, especially in FIFA. He's overpowered in FIFA, but in real life he's scored some good goals. He's got a lot of pace. He's got that potential, that scoring ability. Give him a few seasons. Let's see if he can reach at world class level. We mostly talk about big teams, world class players. We're looking at another world class player who I thought was going to move on to a big team, but no move happened for him. Was Dusan Tadic of Southampton. He came from, I think it was FC Twente, and ever since he's joined Southampton, he's created chances with Graziano Pelle or Sadio Mane, and he's just been that very good, consistent player. Is he world class? No, not at the moment. But does he have the potential? Yes. Another one we look at a centre back by the name of Virgil van Dijk, a Dutch international, plays his trade at Southampton FC. He doesn't have the raw pace, but he's got that physical attribute. He's got that defensive ability. He's got that prowess to know how to intercept a ball, how to score a goal from a corner. He's got that potential. He just needs to develop his game much more, and he will be that world-class player. We're looking at Xherdan Shaqiri, former FC Bayern Munich player. He's been at a world-class club, so he knows what world-class players do and how much potential they have. He needs to reach those heights. He's got some good goals, but consistency is a problem with him. Same with Marko Arnautovic, his teammate at Southampton FC, an Austrian international, friend of David Alaba, same club they play for, so he could learn a thing or two from David Alaba. You're looking at Gylfi Sigurdsson of Swansea City. I think he can get a massive move by the end of the season. I think he will help Swansea to survive relegation and stay up in the Premier League, but that's just my opinion. I think he's in store for massive. He's an Icelandic international, which Iceland did so well in the Euros. It wasn't down to him, but he had a part to play in those games. We're looking at Moussa Dembele, a Tottenham Hotspur player. Consistency is a problem. He scores some goals now and then. He creates some chances now and then. He has the technical ability. He has the skill on the ball. He can pass the ball. He can dribble with the ball. He's got that potential, but he just needs the extra to push him up to that world-class standard. That consistency will push him up to that world-class level. You're looking at Heung-min Son. I think he came from Hamburg FC, and he scored some top draw goals. Some goals were, I think, goal of the season contenders in the Bundesliga, with the likes of Aubameyang being in that league, the likes of Lewandowski being in that league, Robben, and he has been able to perform. But when he's came to Tottenham, he hasn't been given that much game time. But when you see that Harry Kane got injured, been able to step up to that plate and take that chance that he's been given. Another one is Danny Rose, a left back, England international. Played some very good going games, scored some very good goals. Consistency is there, but I believe that he needs to improve on his game. Attacking, yes, he scores a lot of goals. Defensively, there's a big if in defense. You look at Antonio, a very underrated player, plays for West Ham United. I looked at his FIFA ratings, it's like 77. He's got some good goals. He's the one that's been scoring a lot of West Ham goals. If it's not Dimitri Payet, I think it was last season, most goals scored by Antonio were 1-0 wins, headers, getting them 3 points, which helped them be where they were in the table, helped them get European champion. I think it's Europa League they qualified for. Helped them get to that European standard. Another one is another West Ham player who's a goalkeeper. He goes by the name of Adrian, West Ham goalkeeper. He's been consistent for a long time now, for a number of seasons. He's got a massive career ahead of him. If he can keep this consistency going, he will be going to a massive club. Now, I think there's not much goalkeepers in the Premier League, but another goalkeeper who I think could be world class is Martin Stecklenburg of Everton. He's tall, he's got the ability, he's got everything that world class goalkeeper needs to do. All he needs to do is be consistent. Now that's it for my list of world class players. I'm sure I missed out a few, but that's just my opinion. Now, if you have any others, comment below, like, share this video, and that's it for my video. Peace.